Today I'm going to talk to you about deep freeze and remote execution. I'm going to be working remotely today, so there might be a little lag when I'm doing stuff. Um, Now, what you can do with remote execution is pretty cool stuff. You can install programs, run commands, and all kinds of stuff like that. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. First thing you're going to want to do is go get PSEXEC. That can be found at live.sysinternals.com. There's a bunch of great tools in here, and PSEXEC actually comes with a bunch of PS tools, and they all do pretty cool stuff. But today we're just going to focus on PSEXEC. This can also be found on Microsoft's TechNet. If you just do a search for it, you'll find it quick, the whole PS tools. Um, so go ahead and download that. And then we're going to want to place it in Program Files, PS Tools, and place it right here, PSEXEC. So now we need to actually get our install files. Today we're going to be working with Java, Flash, and Adobe Reader. And they all support silent installations, which is very important, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. So let's go ahead and I actually have them all downloaded as of now, so I'm just going to show you how to get them real quick. For Java, you would just go to java.com, and then we'll click free Java download. Now, the thing you're going to want to be careful of is you want to make sure you actually get the right files. Notice how it's detecting it, and it's going to give us or tell us that we already have the latest version or suggest a version for us. We're going to actually go to all Java downloads here. And you'll notice that there's actually two different installs. One's an online and one's an offline. You're going to want to make sure if you're given the option to get the offline installer. That way it doesn't access the internet or have any dialog boxes. It's the full program. So we'll go ahead and download that. Again, I already have these, but for some simplistic reasons, I'm just going to name it java.exe. Let that download. So now I'm going to take this file and put it in a public location or location accessible by other machines, which would be here. I already have it here, but I'll go ahead and repaste it. It's the same version. There we go, and you can see I have Flash and Reader here as well. So we're going to be working with those three today. Now the next thing we're going to want to do is open your defreeze console and go to Actions, Configure Custom Actions, and then go down to Remote Execution. Now your screen will look a little different than mine. It's going to ask you to specify where you placed PSEXEC. Just go ahead and specify that we put it right here in C Program Files PS Tools. And once you do that, your window will look like this. But we're actually going to change all of this right here because it doesn't really work that well. So here's what you're actually going to place in it. You're going to specify the path of PS Tools, and then a //IP %%IP %%, and this is going to use the IP address of the selected computers within deep freeze. -U %username %. This is going to a single percent as a dialog input, so it's going to ask for a username, then it's going to ask for a password, and then we're going to specify three arguments: -F, -C, and -D. -F and -C copy, and -F forces the copy, just in case the file is already there. It'll overwrite it. And D does not wait for a return from the remote computer that the command was successful. And then we're going to do %cmd%, and this is where we're going to put in our command. So I'll just minimize that for now. So once you have that put in there, let's go ahead and close this. You're going to first need to unthaw the computers you want to change, and I have 17 computers here. So we'll right click the 17 and go down to Remote Execute. Now here are the dialog inputs I was talking about earlier. Under username, you're going to, if you're on a domain, you're going to need to specify the domain / then the username. And then under password, you put in your password. And you're going to be needing to use an administrative account for these installations. and the file that we're going to be installing needs to be in a location that's accessible by all the machines. So preferably a network location would probably be the best idea. One other thing is I've noticed that I could not get this to work unless I had a NIC card for each subnet. So if I'm working with two subnets, so I needed two NIC cards, one dedicated to each subnet. If you don't, I could not get it to work without doing that. Some of you may have better luck with that. I'm not sure, but that's something to keep in mind. If you're only working with one subnet, it shouldn't be a big deal. Now under command, we're going to start with a quotation, and then we're going to put the path to our file. Now mine's located on a server, so I'm just going to copy my path here. And then let's say we're going to do Flash. We'll update Flash Player. Then we'll close our quotes. And then you're going to want to specify a silent command. Now, remote execution like this will only work with silent installations because we're not actually at the machine clicking things. We want the program to install itself. So if the program doesn't support a silent installation, it won't work. If you can get, I mean, you can usually do searches, like if you search on the search on Google for silent install for Flash or for other programs, sometimes you'll find favorable results with how to do silent installs with EXEs. You could also use MSI files and just specify the quiet command. That's another way to do it. Here I'm just gonna use the silent option or argument, which is just /s for Flash Player. So then when I click OK, you're gonna see all these command windows pop up. As you can see here, it's actually copying the file to each machine. And now it's installing it. That's just if you want to do one program at a time, which is, totally viable. If you want to get a little more technical about it, you certainly can, and I'll show you how to do that. Here I have just a simple command file. Um, I want to update Java, Flash, and Adobe Reader on all these machines. I don't want to do them one at a time. I want to do all of them at once. So as you can see here, I have 3 X copies, and they're copying the files from the server to the C drive of the computer. And then I have 3 start commands and this /wait argument. Now that the start with /wait runs the command, whatever I'm doing, and waits till it finishes before it runs the next command. So here I'm installing Reader. It waits till it finishes. Then it installs Flash. Wait till it finishes. And then it installs Java. Wait till it finishes. And then it removes the directory. As you can see here, this silent option for Adobe Reader, this is for version 10, version X, I guess. I don't know if it works on other versions. You'll probably have to do a Google search for that. But I'm going to show you how this works really quick. So again, let's go down here. We'll go to Remote Execute. Again, specify your domain if you're using one, then the username, your password. Now, in the command box, we're actually going to place the location of the command file. So, again, mine's located on a server. Oops. Start with quotes. And then mine has a long name, so can't find it here. Here we go. So now what's going to happen when I hit OK is it's going to copy that command file to the machines, and then that's going to run that command file. Now right now it's actually installing all of those items that I had listed in there. It's copying them from the server and installing them. You'll want to make sure you give the computers plenty of time to do the installs before you refreeze them. So I'd give it 5 minutes. That'd probably be more than enough time, depending on how quick the machines are. These are pretty quick machines, so 5 minutes will do it. You can do this with any program that supports silent installations. I've done it with even large programs such as Vericut, and even Mastercam. It can be done silently and remotely. And that's all there is to it.